In 2023, I sold everything and started pedaling my bike every which way around the country. Partly for the adventure, partly to find a new home, and partly to advocate for the many Americans who have trouble getting their cancer treatments. I'd been on the road for about a year when I got to Minneapolis, and it was the first place that I'd been to that actually felt like somewhere I could live. I'm not a Christian, but I often get complimented on my good Christian values, because I'm out here giving big chunks of my life to help the downtrodden, trying to make society a little less cruel. And they applaud that because that's what Christianity teaches them to value. This isn't a political page, so in the same vein, you generally only see my politics here through the way I live my life. Nothing I'm about to say is political either. I go to protests, and I don't hesitate to video record public officials performing public duties. I've been detained by Border Patrol when the border was nowhere in sight. I invoke my constitutional rights to remain silent. I've never owned a gun, but I've met hundreds of people along the way who were appalled to hear that I travel without carrying protection. Yesterday in Minneapolis, the federal government shot a man in the back at point-blank range 10 times, and then one of the agents clapped. The deceased, who I have so much in common with, had already been tear-gassed and wrestled to the ground by 5 guys. Powerful people say that Alex Preddy is the enemy within. His last act was to help up a woman who had been shoved to the ground by an agent. His last words to her were, "Are you okay?" He was a cyclist in Minneapolis. He helped who he could. He spoke his mind. He was recording the scene because he hoped that video evidence could convey objective truth in a world that so often finds reality inconvenient. He was me. I do all of those things. That could have been me. Nothing I've just said is political, and nobody's opinion changes any of what happened. You can see it all for yourself in full-length videos from several different angles, thanks to the eyewitnesses who were prepared for this exact possibility. Watch them. Not the carefully edited propaganda clips, not the tweets and talking heads. Pretend you're in the NFL's instant replay booth and watch the full-length video from every available angle. You won't see any video of him holding a gun because that didn't fucking happen. The gun he legally owned and carried never left its holster. You can even see what appears to be an agent grab it and carry it away from the struggle before any shots were fired. Nor will you see him on top of anyone or otherwise attacking anybody. You'll see a wildly outnumbered man get tear-gassed, thrown to the ground, and pummeled and killed. And then an agent clapped. Let's not pretend any of this is an accident or one bad apple. Everything about this situation was a choice, and all of their superiors are applauding this as if it's all good and normal. It's up to you what you do with this information. I'll just remind you, as an atheist, that there's a book so popular that it inspired the invention of the printing press. And it says, "Beware of false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves." Rest in power, Alex Preddy.